stream her modesty, as neath dark boughs her secrecy, reed against reed, tall on slight, as the stream moves left and right, dark and clear, to seek and not find, as a dream in his mind, and think how her robe should be, distantly to toss and turn, high reed caught in sigh grass, so deep her secrecy, lute sound is caught, touching, passing, left and right, banging the gong of her delight. Gagathi, O omen tree, that art so frail and young, so glossy fair to shine with flaming flower, that goest to wed and make fair house and bower. O omen peach, that art so frail and young, giving us promise of such solid fruit, going to man and house to be true root. O peach tree, thou art fair as leaf amid new boughs, going to bride to build thy man his house. Mythical beast, Kylin's foot bruiseth no root, away Kylin. In Kylin's path no wrath, away Kylin. Kylin's tooth no harm doth, away Kylin. One's line and clan. In fleecy coats with 5 white tassels, affable snakes, the great Duke's vassals glide from his hall to tuck their court rations inside. In lambskin coats with 5 white tassels, affable snakes, the Duke's vassals all glide out to dinner on leaving the hall. With quadruple tassels or seams to their coats, lambskin and all, with that elegant look, noble vassals, affable snakes, glide out to consume what they get from the Duke. Lies a dead deer on yonder plain, whom white grass covers, a melancholy maid in spring is luck for lovers. Where the scrub elm skirts the wood, be it not in white mat bound, as a jewel flawless found, dead as doe is maidenhood. Hark, on hand my girdle knot, stay, 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 or the dog may bark. Dry grass and vale, alas, I met a man, scorched, alas, ere it could grow, a lonely girl pours out her woe, even in water meadow dry, flow her tears abundantly, solitude's no remedy. Old Brer Rabbit watching his feet, rabbit nets got the pheasant beat. When I was young in the starting life, I kept away from trouble and strife. But then, as life went on, did I meet trouble? I, my son, wish I could sleep till life was done. Hep-Cat Chung, where my town, don't break my willows down. The trees don't matter, but father's tongue, mother's tongue, have a heart, Chung, it's awful. Hep-Cat Chung, don't jump my wall, nor strip my mulberry boughs. The boughs don't matter, but my brothers clatter. Have a heart, Chung, it's awful. Hep-Cat Chung, that is my garden wall. Don't break my sandalwood tree. The tree don't matter, but the subsequent chatter. Have a heart, Chung, it's awful. La Madone de Wagon-Lee. On comes her car with a rattledy bang, woven leather like cinnabar. Loose, loose, a flaming star, you'd est missed say, shooting the moon to loo, to Lou started at sunset, none too soon, with a black flash of quadrigers and the multitude of her chariots, double teams matched, smooth-oiled reins, blue robes stretching across the plains. Full be the waters of Wen, as we hear the whang of marching men. Mist Eye and Loo Road we see, both wider than all liberality. Across Wen water churning mud, a herd of travellers in flood, and loose on Loo Road, Mist Eye showing compassion abundantly. Bois d'Amour, garden peach in a dish ere long, my own. As my worry goes into song, strangers say the scholar is proud. Others fit in, why is he so loud? Those who know me plumb not my thought. Garden blackberry, my own, made to eat. A heart worries for the state of the state. Strangers find me utterly wrong, because other men get along. Friends finding me distraught, plumb not my thought. Who can plumb another man's thought? I climb the knoll, gaze to my father's land from the knoll's shade, and he will be saying, praying, that boys on hard service, dawn to sundown, no end. Let him care for the flag as I could command, so he returned in the end. I climb Bald Rock, I seek my mother's house, and she, no rest, my bairn, that his bones lie not in the waste. I climb the ridge, look to my brother's stead, and he, the kid's abroad, a file filled, if only he doesn't get killed, and an eye on the flag. Rats, stone-head rats, lay off our grain. 3 years' pain, enough, plus enough again. More than enough from you, deaf you. We're about through and ready to go where something will grow untaxed. Good earth, good sown, and come into our own. Rats, big rats, lay off our wheat. 3 years deceit, and now we're about ready to go to Lo Quo. Happy, happy land, Lo Quo. Good earth where we can earn our worth. Rats, stonehead rats, spare our new shoots. 3 years, no pay. We're about ready to move away to some decent border town. Good earth, good sown, and make an end to this endless moan. At the road's end, dare say he'd make a nice gentleman friend. Lonely pear tree by the wayside, how shall I for my true love provide? Dare say he'd agree, but how feed him? Russet pear at bend of the way, dare say he'd come play, but true love won't feed him. Chariots rank on rank with white-fronted horses, you'd see, my lord, the eunuchs or bosses, terebinth on the hill, chestnuts and berry, when sure inside there are lutes in each array. Delight, delight in the long night coming. Mulberries on the crest, willows in marshland berry, drumbeat and shamisen, derry, derry, death's up the alley. What, no clothes? Share my cloak. At the king's call, spear, lance, and all prepare, and advance with axes together. What, no clothes? My underwear is just your size. Levies arise at the king's call. We rise all with lances and halberds together. What, no clothes? Take my spare kilt. shine mail coat and axe, lift we our packs and out together. Minister of War, Lord of the light's axe, by what cause should we, the king's teeth and claws, be cast into misery, out roof or stay? Lord of the light's axe, why should we officers be cast into distress that is bottomless? Minister of War, eye slow in the ear, how hast construed that a mother's corpse is soldier's food? Wang now, yellow bird, let my corn alone. Yellow bird, let my crops alone. These folks here won't let me eat. I want to go back where I can meet the folks I used to know at home. I got a home and I want to get going. Yellow bird, let my trees alone. Let them berries stay where they's a-growing. These folks here ain't got no sense. Can't tell 'em nothing without offense. Yellow bird, let me go home. I got a home and I want to get going. Yellow bird, you stay out of them oaks. Yellow bird, let them crops alone. I just can't live with these here folks. I got a home and I want to get going to where my dad's folks still is a-growing. Planner's raw deal, about 770 BC. Heaven's what is, God is to earth. Twisty planning, what's to block it? At sight of good plan, they turn to rotten again. The sight of their planning gives me a pain. First say yes, then say no. Good plan, no go. But rotten they dress in flummery. The sight of their planning worries me. Tired turtles, clean petered out, decline to bother with human doubt. Poked hot sticks into tortoise shells, which answer us no oracles. Planners and planners pullulate, concluding nothing, not even debate. Worders are at it in the king's abode. No one dares put his name on a chit. All maps and no marching covers no road. Our active designers don't like old ways, worked by the solid symmetrical. But let 'em hear the sound of a phrase and they'll quarrel over it days and days. As builders who change for the last thing told 'em, never get a house to hold 'em. State all a wobble, scanners and boobs, a few less to gobble, bright boys and planners, some who'll take trouble all of a bubble down into quicksand. No tool against tiger, no boat for river, that much, no more, and they know it. But above all, to be precise, the Gulf's edge are on thin ice. Let the great cart alone, wear dust. Think not on sorrows, lest thy heart rust. Push no great cart, lest dust enflame thine eye. Brood not on sorrows, lest joy pass by. Push not the great wheel spoke in moil and sweat, lest thou make thy troubles heavier yet. The year puts on her shining robe of flowers and leaves and broidery. Amid the flowers of viscounts and court dressed, I can give praise to quietness. The year puts on his shining robe that its rue's yellowest pageantry. The flower of viscounts in orderliness be his chapter and verse of happiness. The year puts on her shining robe of yellow flowers and flowers white. So comes each lord holding 6 smooth reins. His 4 white horses have jet black manes. Left goes left where it should be. Right goes to right accordingly. I therefore praise these gentlemen who know and show both the how and when. Flies, blue flies on a bench rail, should a prince swallow lies wholesale? Flies, blue flies on a jujube tree, slander brings states to misery. Flies, blue flies on a hazel bough, even we too in slanderers row. Hear them now. Folk worn out, working so late, kind rule at centre halls on the state. Fish out the slammers and scare off worse, thieves and thugs you light and curse. Easy on farm men, do with what's near, and the king can sit quiet the rest of the year. Folk worn out need support, men gather round a kindly court. Throw out the punks who falsify your news, scare off the blockheads, thugs, thieves and screws. Don't shove it off on the working man, but keep on doing what you can for the king's support. Folk worn out need time for breath. Kindness and capital draws on the 4 coins withal. Sweep out the fakes and scare off the obsequious, thugs, thieves and screws, and don't promote the snots to sin on sly. Respect men who respect the right, and your own honesty may heave into sight. Folk burnt out need vacation, kind court alleviates people's vexation. Throw out the flattering fakes, scare blighters and crushers. Don't ruin folk pretending it's government. No, you're mere babes in this business, and the job's bigger than you can guess. Folk burnt out need a little peace. Kindness in the middle causes no injuries. Turn out the oily tongues and parasites, thieves squeezing governors. Don't upset honest men. The king wants jewels and females. I therefore lift up these wails. Ascribed to Duke Wu of Wei, who reigned from 811 to 756 BC. He reproves himself at the age of 95. Show of respect is held as virtue's sign, thus the old saw was meant. No man's all wise, plain men are fools of their natural bent. The sage's nonsense runs against the grain. First seek out manhood, 4 coins will follow this. Give the assent in word, study their inwit to shape thy business. 4 realms will agree in mind without argument. Lofty ambition is reached by calm decree. So be the far scope is proclaimed seasonably. Revere all straightness, respecting thine and mine. Thy pattern shall the whole folk's form define. How stand we now, confusion and government, bemused chaos up and conscience down, flat down, be it on back or front, but sunk at any rate, thou art so drunk and deep in nothing save it be merriment, severed continuance, thou dunce, shallow in law of ancient kingly light, that might in this darkness tow thy bark aright. Disorder hath no preferment from the sky. It's the spring seepage that runs wallowing down with no clear channels. It but sinks, is lost. Wake for the sun and go thou late to bed. Dust out thy courtyard and sprinkle. Folk will take order. Attend to thy carts and nags, bows, arrows, and weapons for the land's defence against the wild man and crude south's insolence. Weigh your appointees to their natural weight. Measure your feudal lords attentively, lest ructions come upon you unaware. Mean from the heart what flows out from the tongue. Respect your own respect for equity, nor lack true tenderness. The flaw in jade sceptre can be ground away. Against word ill spoke there is no remedy. Glib not with facile speech. No man can gate thy tongue vicarious. Words cannot die and pass. Every fool's speech begets its argument. Unright begets reply in unright zone. Be just in recompense. Stand by thy friends. Be father to all folk of little means. And your wains shall be a line grown to a rope. Posterity, none without heritor. Meet not thy friends with scowls. Errors yclept almost vicinity. And when thou art thine own sole company, say not no man can see through the roof's air hole. In my northwest ingle is naught can make shame. Here's no eye. The spirits have their own visions of thought, not to our measure wrought, that ours yet shoot toward. Prince, 'tis thy job to keep thy conscience clear, inducing so a probity laudable. Care for the place you're in, plant there your tree. Defect not toward men's rights in property, either by theft or gentler usurpation, and you'll be followed almost by the nation. Peach thrown to me shall neck a plum for thee, and lambs will have horns, my son, when rainbows turn to stone. Tough wood will bend if silks to make the string. Calmness carves men, and conscience their base. Why at these words, mere words, old saws, do right while fools deny, run to reverse, and call them tyranny, to prove, quod homines tot sententiae, each man his mind. I took thy paw where thou knew'st fair from base, showed thee the how, which when thou wouldst not face, grabbed at thine ear. Dost thou plead ignorance? The father of grown-up brats, we fear that men are incomplete, cocksure at cock-crow, not done by night. Bright as the light that gleams in over sky, it leaves me grumped in black stupidity, grinding it out over and over again, the self-same lesson, which, if thou didst hear, had bored contemptuous, not bored to tears. Dost thou plead ignorance after these 90 years? Compassionate heaven, O thou autumnal sky, hasty to all, famine is here, now surely death draws nigh. Folk die and flow to exile in the waste, dead homes and stables are hidden beneath wild grass. Heaven has let down a dragnet of ill-doing, the locusts have gnawed us with word work, they have hollowed our speech, perverse alliances and continuing crookedness have divided us. Evil men are set above us in ease. Amid slanders and vain disputations they see themselves flawless. They know not their errors, they count on their not being seen. Emulous, ostentatious, cantankerous in their ostentation. By long disorder the high offices are brought down, as grass in a drought year, with nothing to water its shoots, as cress in dry tree fork, dry as a bird's nest, so is this state. There is none not given to sabotage. Former prosperity stood not on a chance of weather, nor does calamity now. They have dredged up their rice. Why don't they retire from office and the older ones first? Now, thick all in mass, bring drums, bring drums, bring leather drums and play to hang source of us all in vain. Again, pray, to hang's air, a prayer that puts a point to thought. With thud of the deep drum, flutes clear, doubling over all, concord evens it all, built on the stone's tone under it all. To hang's might is terrible, with a sound as clear and sane as wind over grain. Steady drum going on, great dance elaborate. Here be guests of state, to us all one delight. From of old is this rite, former times initiate. Calm the flow, early and late, from sun and moon concentrate. In the heart of every man since this rite began. Attend, bale fire and harvest home, to hang's air at the turn of the moon.